Hello, welcome, it's great to see you. Today I'm working on a tote bag. So this tutorial is by Christiane. She did it as like a live on her channel. And I'm part of an Easter swap where we need to create one of these and fill it with goodies for a secret partner. Each of us knows who we're sending to, we don't know who we're receiving from. So that is a separate video. I have made that Easter one which I will share with you on the specified date. But I thought it would be really fun to make another one of these using the Rosie Studio Simply Charming because I am loving this collection, and also we are heading towards 3K subscribers, and I thought it would make a really cool giveaway. So I'm going to recreate the tote bag with you now. I will link Christiane's video in the description for you, and I will have the measurements and all that sort of stuff as well. I like to use a solid paper for the base of the bag because you need two 12 by 12 sheets and not a lot of the collections give you two of the same. So I've got a green one from Craftsmith, and then I've got the Simply Charming papers. These ones for all of the pockets and handles and all of the pretty bits. So let's cut these to size and I will run through all the measurements for you. Apologies, the camera hates plain card for some reason, it won't focus. So I'm just going to run through these now they're already cut. I have got the base piece, which is 6.5 by 4, and then I've got the two pieces that make the body of the bag. So this is 12 by 6 and 6 by 6.5. We'll score these before we put them to the side. So I'll do the base first. For the base, you just need to score at 1/2 inch on all of the sides. Like so. Then for the body of the bag, we're going to take the shorter side, which is the 6-inch side, and score that at 1 inch the whole way along. Same with the smaller piece, 6-inch side, and then at 1 inch the whole way along. Then on the smaller one, you're going to turn it to the 6.5-inch side and score at 1/2 inch. Ooh, was that straight? Yes. Like so. You'll have to let me know if you prefer doing all of the cutting and scoring at the beginning and then putting it all together, or whether you would rather make the bag and then the measurements and things for the pockets. Today I think I'm going to do all the cutting and scoring at the beginning, but do let me know if you prefer it the other way and I can change it in the future. I like to do a front and a back pocket and then one on each side, so I'm going to double these measurements. I think she does that in her video, I'm pretty sure she does. I just need to choose my papers. Now I know the one at the, I'm going to grab them out, I know the one at the front will be covered with all my decorations and stuff, so I don't want one that I really love the pattern of. One that I like the pattern, but that I'd like to add things to, so a plainer one. And on the side, I don't really want to add anything, so I want one that's a bit more bold, stands out on its own. In fact, this might be the perfect opportunity to use the little frogs that I love so much. Wouldn't they look perfect on the little side pockets? I'm going to use those for the sides, and then for the front, I think I'm going to use this pretty word one. Yeah, I think that'll look nice with the colours I've got. So to make your front and back pocket, you are going to want 6 by 4.5. That is handy because I can get 2. And you want the 4.5 to be the correct way up. So, for example, this is a directional paper. I want to cut 4.5 so that when the 4.5 is this way, it's the correct way up. And handy, I need this to be 6, so I can just cut this in half. There we go, like so. So this is your way up, the shorter side, and then you've got your 6 along there. To score these, let me turn this around again. You want to turn to your 4.5-inch side and score at 1/2 inch. Same on the other side. Do both of those. Then on the longer side, you want to score each side at half. Where's my half gone? 3/4 and 1. And again, you want to do that on the other side. So half, 3/4 and 1. Do that again on this one. Half, 3/4 and 1. Flip it round. Half. It's half, isn't it? Yep. 3/4 and 1. And there's your front and back pocket. I'll show you how to fold them in just a second. And we'll cut the side pockets. So again, you want your paper to be 4.5 the correct way up. So when you're cutting your 4.5 measurement, you want it to be this way. So 4.5, like so. And then this needs to be by 4. So 4.5 by 4, and then another 4.5 by 4. Same sort of thing again for scoring. As with the other pocket, you want it to be this way up, the 4.5 inch side along the top, and you want to score at 1/2 inch on each side. Same with this one. Then when you turn it the other way, again you want to do 1/2, 3/4 and 1 inch. Same on this side, 1/2, 3/4, 1 inch. Exactly the same with this. And those are all of your pockets cut and scored. The final thing you will want is your straps. I'm going to cut these at the end because I'm not sure what pattern I want to go for, so I'll come back to that. But if you do want to cut them now, you want 2 inches by 12, and obviously you want that twice. And then you just want to score down the middle at 1 inch so that they fold, they double over, and they're a bit stronger. I have just filmed adding together the main body of the bag, and I made a few errors and things, so I'm just going to show you with another one that I'm making sort of how I've worked out the kinks. So I'm going to join these two together first. I find that easier. And you will only have score lines on the short piece. I've got them on the long piece on this one, ignore that. This was like my first prototype following the tutorial. So putting my tape along there, joining these together, joining them together using this line as a guide. You shouldn't have burnished that one. I think I might have already told you that, but just do, well, haven't burnished any yet actually. Ignore me. It's because I've just filmed it. I don't know what I've said and what I haven't. So I've got the two pieces. I haven't burnished anything. I'm just using this little 1/2 inch score to stick these two together, and that is it. That's all I've done. Then I am going to use this top 1 inch line to create a little tab, like so, and then same on this side, so it ends up looking like this. And you haven't, well, you have scored, but you haven't burnished anything yet. The only thing we're going to burnish is this top 1 inch line. So fold that over, burnish it. Ignore the fact that I've already done this because I was prototype making, like I said. Now if you want to stitch, I would suggest doing that now. So you can stitch a straight line across here, a straight line across the bottom as well. Then when it goes together, it will look like it's stitched all the way around. You can do that after you fold this down, but you will see the stitching, like the back side of the stitching, so it just looks neater if you do it now. If you are going to stitch, make sure to flip this over, because this is the side that you will see, so this will be folded under. This is the side you will see on the outside of your bag. Also, in the one that I'm making now, the green one, I've used plain paper. I would suggest using something like this. So this is a Doodlebug one, I think. And these colours actually complement the Rosie Studio one perfectly. So this has dots on the outside and then it's plain on the inside. It just gives it a little bit of something extra. So you're gonna stitch these and then I will come back and show you how to add it to the base. Right, I have stitched this, as you can see, from one end to the other, and I have grabbed my base piece. For this one it's a different colour. Ideally you want the same, but we're working with what we have. And then I just need to tape this down. Folding that over, sticking it down. We want to add adhesive along this side, but don't peel it up yet. So this is for when we're putting it together around the base. I'll fold the excess over when we get there. The other thing you want to do is take your score tool and just sort of lightly bend both sides so it wraps around nicely. Okay, that's ready to go. You want your base. I'm going to turn my hot glue on for this because it's easier to put the base together with hot glue. I'm going to use the yellow for the outside, so I'll turn it this way. You need to burnish all 4 of your score lines. Then you want to make a box. So let's do this way, I think it's going to be easier. Cut up on that line, same on this side. So you've now got 2 little flaps there. Turn it, cut up on this score line. So you're cutting up on the bottom score line till it meets the cross here, the middle of the cross, which you might be able to see better on the yellow side. There you go. So you can see how I've cut that on both sides, both ends, and then you're going to fold this bit in, fold these 2 to make a box. You won't be able to see this outside, so don't worry about that. But this is just the easiest way to put it together, and it makes the inside look really flush and nice. So I'll use hot glue to do that. And there is your base. We want to grab our tape again and go all the way, I might need a thicker one, all the way around the edge. So you're going to peel some of the tape back and using the end that isn't reinforced. If I start here, where are my joins going to be? They're going to be at the front and the back. That's not what we want. So you want to start. Sort of right at the edge here. There we go. Oh, mind that bit of thread. And then you're just sort of peeling the tape back. I'm really hoping you can see that as you bring I've got this like extra piece, so I don't know if I'm supposed to have cut that off at some point, but I think I'm just gonna put tape on the back of it and glue it down. And then that is your, you can play with the shape of it a bit, because I've burnished this in places where I shouldn't. This one is holding much better because I haven't. That is the base of your bag. So I'm going to send you back to the correct one. So this is going to be the Easter one, so you've actually got a sneak peek of that. I will send you back to the original Rosie Studio version, and we'll get the pockets added onto this and get it embellished. So let's go ahead and make the pockets to add onto the bag. The pockets she actually makes in such a cool way. So you want to fold all of your score lines. Well, fold the top and the bottom first, actually, because you need to cut. Although, does she fold them? Hang on. Right, so fold the top, fold the bottom. Then on the side one, you fold the first score line inwards, like so, but the second one comes out, so it's like an accordion fold, and then the third one goes in again, so that once you've scored them all, you get something like this. So I'll show you that again. The first one needs to go in, the second one comes out, and the third one goes in again, like so. So you get this kind of effect at the top. Then you want to go ahead and get rid of all of these sections on both sides. So up like this, across like this, and then I guess you could tab the end one if you wanted to. Across, definitely tab this one, and then do that one again, and I'll just get rid of the other side. Right, then similar to before, this top one is purely for reinforcement, so you're just going to stick that down. I am going to stitch this before I stick that down, so I'm just going to stitch around this centre square. I'll fold this other pocket as well, and I will come back to you. These two are both stitched. This is going to be the front pocket because I messed up the stitching in this corner, and it will be easier to cover on the front pocket. So to put these together, I'm going to cut off these little extra strings. We want to fold over this top piece. I'm going to keep using tape because it's quicker. Fold that over like so to reinforce that. Then you want to fold this side in and this side, and then just fold this up, and that makes your pocket. So I think my glue gun is off. What shall we use? I might use wet glue just to hold these corners, and then I'll put double-sided tape on maybe to attach it. So it is like 1, 2, like so. Oop, hold those for a few seconds. Grab a thin tape and pop it along there. I bought this set from 𝓷𝓸𝓬𝓲, when was it, like Black Friday or something, with all the different sizes. And this is the first time that I'm actually getting it out to use it. And it's pretty good so far. Let's cheat and steal this little bit that I was going to fold over. Just put it over here. Saves me cutting a new piece. And then this would just stick onto your bag at the front, and then obviously one at the back as well. I'm looking at this though, and I think maybe it's a bit plain for me, just the green, so I'm wondering what I can add on there to make it a bit more fun. I'm considering some kind of tulle, maybe not this one, but some kind of tulle you could definitely wrap around, and it would give it a bit of something. Not sure that I like the hearts. Well, let's make the other pockets. These ones pretty much the same. So the side with the one score line, you're just folding those both in. And then the side with multiple, first one goes in, second one goes out, and then the third one goes in again. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. This one, stitch them, and then I'll come back. I have all of the pockets stitched. I have had a break, I've done some stitching, I've got a wedding dress for my sister, I've got all sorts finished in between the last clip and this one. So we have skipped forward about a day. But these are all finally stitched. I've just kept them in the bag, which is actually really handy. So I would have literally just made this one with you. But to remind you and myself, I am going to make these 3 into pockets, and then we will attach them onto the bag and work on the next step. So let's do that. All of the pockets are finished, and now I just need to add them on to my bag. So I'm going to use this one for the front. I messed up the stitching slightly here, but that will be really easy to cover on the front pocket. So I just need to peel this up, stick it as central as I can on the front, and we should be golden. Right, can I work this out at that angle? I have to stand it up, but I will lean it back down momentarily. There we go. Easier to lay it down and squish it. There we go. And then that's your, oops, too far up, pocket on the front. Same on the back. In fact, this might help it sort of squish into the right shape. Definitely easier to squish from the inside. Make sure it's all adhered properly. There we go, and there's your pocket on the back. And then it's just to add the 2 little skinny side pockets. I probably could have stuck these further down actually. I might do that for my other ones so that things can poke out of the top a bit more. Final one. There we go. And then we have all 4 pockets. It's really hard to show you because of how big this is. But we've got all 4 pockets on there. We just need to add the handles and then we can embellish this. I think I will embellish it on a separate video. Let me choose something for the handles. Got these scraps from other projects, so maybe I'll go for one of these. Maybe the peachy colour. Hoping, I'm pretty sure this is still 12. Is it? I don't think it is. I'm hoping it won't make a huge amount of difference, but you're supposed to have 12 inches by 2. I have like 11.5 by 2. because that's the scrap I've got and I really like how it matches the project, so we're just going to go with it. And then we want to score these at 1 inch. So 1 inch down the middle. Fold these in half. And then you could double-sided tape these together, but I am going to add a little bit of wet glue to hold them in place and then stitch these. I'll be back to add them to the bag with you. Straps are all stitched and I just need to add them onto the bag here. So to do that, I'm going to use brads. You could glue these on if you wanted to, but I want to use up some of these brads because they've been sitting in my stash forever. I've gone for 4 little green ones, which I might cover up with buttons. So let's work out where we need them to go. I wonder if this might help. So this is a bookbinding, We Are Memory Keepers bookbinding tool, but it might line it up nicely for us. Once you have punched your holes with your little pokey tool, I was going to put the brads through, don't do that first. Use it to mark where you want them on your bag. So you want one this side, sort of fold it round and add one this side. And then, sorry, I have to sort of stand it up so I can see what I'm doing. Where do I want these to go? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I've let go of one. Just sort of lining that up and then stabbing my pencil through there. So there's a mark that's not working at all. What might be easier is to line that up and then go through it with this tool. There we go, that's better. Line that side up. Yep, that's about right. And again, through with that tool. And then it should be really easy to just push these through and open them up inside like so. You could definitely add some adhesive to these so that they sit flush against the bag. I'll show you at the front here. So they sat flush against the bag, but that's entirely up to you. Or I think a bigger brad would do the same kind of job as well, but I quite like them poking up a little bit, a bit more realistic. Let's do the second one. And that is your bag complete. I really wish I could show you the whole thing. Maybe I will insert a photo for you of it all in shot at once. I will be decorating this on another video because this has already run far too long, and I will be back soon to share with you the Easter themed one as well, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks so much for hanging out and crafting with me. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and it will let you know when I post more crafty videos. I'll see you then. Bye!